Like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds or Epic will bring back the Brute. And everyone but you will be allowed to use it. Hey, what's up guys? It's your second favorite PE teacher, Denver. And in today's video, we're going to be ranking every Fortnite vehicle that has ever existed from worst all the way to the best and everything in between. We're going to take a look at everything like the quad crashers, the new cars, and even some vehicles that so many of you probably forgot even existed. So get ready to feel nostalgic on this one especially, but before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe with those notifications turned on so you never ever miss an upload. Then also use code ThatDenverGuyYT in the item shop and send me proof on either Twitter or Instagram that you use my code. I'm giving away 2,000 V-Bucks to 5 different people, and you don't even have to use my code, just show that you have it typed in. Remember, it's not That Denver Guy, it's ThatDenverGuyYT. Type that in, send me proof, or let me know down in the comments below that you use my code to be entered in that giveaway. And let's get started. Now we're starting off pretty heavy here because we have to rank the worst vehicle of all time to ever be added to Fortnite. And this one is based purely on the fact that it's barely even a vehicle at all, but it still existed for a short time. And that is number 14, the shopping cart. Now this shouldn't really be a huge surprise to anyone that the shopping cart would at least be top 2 worst vehicles ever added to Fortnite because, well, it was Epic's first shot at making a vehicle. We'll cut them some slack. Now that doesn't mean that when it was out, it wasn't super fun and people did so many crazy trick shots with these things. It was insane, and in general, they were awesome to have in the game at the time. But that's not the point, because if they were to be added back into the game right now, they would never match up to the other vehicles that we even currently have in the game now. Just think of how far we've really come, where only a little over a year ago, we had shopping carts in the game and never could have imagined we'd have helicopters and big rigs in it. Pretty crazy. Now, what's even crazier is now we're ranking the second worst of all time in Fortnite. And this one is definitely going to surprise you. It's number 13. The pirate cannon. I know. You might think it's not technically a vehicle, but it actually is. Basically, this thing had one primary purpose, and that was to launch players through the air as far as possible. You were never going to hit someone with a cannon anyway, so you may as well just use it to fling yourself into enemies or escape your certain doom, or to be shot off the edge of the map like Ninja was. Plus, how funny is it that they even made this a thing? But that doesn't take away from the fact that somehow Todd, your first favorite PE teacher, decided this is still a better vehicle than the shopping cart, which is saying a lot. So blame Todd. What is also saying a lot is that number 12 is actually the loot shark. Oh, but Denver, it's so fun, and riding the sharks is such a cool addition to the game. Timmy, I got some bad news for you, okay, Timmy? The loot sharks were awesome when there was water covering the map, but have you looked at the map recently? There isn't really any water left to ride these bad boys around. It was fun while it lasted, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances of not being able to properly operate while out of the water, we're going to have to let the sharks go. We're also going to have to let go of number 11, the boat. Now hold on before you rush to the comment section and yell at me. There's a reason that the boat is going to be so poorly ranked, okay? And that's mostly because Todd said that he always dies to people in boats, so he wants to rank it pretty low. But anyways, the real reason is that the boats are pretty much in the same boat as the sharks right now. Even though boats are good on short distances on land, they still aren't really optimal for getting across the whole map, and that makes them kind of useless right now with how little water there really is. Now the time has come though for land vehicles to take back over Fortnite. Now speaking of that, let's take a look at number 10. And yes, it's the big boy, the big rig. The big rig, although a really awesome addition to the game, it's so many players are happy that Epic allowed them to be drivable. It's just not fast enough. It does its job though. It's not a bad vehicle, but it's definitely not super amazing to drive like the other cars that are coming up on this list. But with that being said, there is no better feeling than just plowing through like 3 build battles at the same time and just causing chaos. Even if you didn't hit any players, it's still fun to third party and ruin some build fights with this big boy. Now, you know what else ruined build fights? Number 9, the Brute. Oh boy. Now, likely the single most triggering vehicle ever added to Fortnite, and yes, it is a vehicle. We're putting this one in at number 11 mostly because how infuriating it was to deal with. Was it super fun to be in it? Yes. Was it super fun to fight against them? Heck no. Was it super funny to watch Tim the Tatman literally not even look at his screen for 5 minutes while wiping an entire team using the brew? Yes, that was pretty funny. I get shivers just thinking about it though, and this was like the darkest time in Fortnite history. You'd hear a brute flying through the air in the distance and almost instinctively reach for Alt F4. Now though, let's take a look at number 8, the regular car. Now technically, this is called the Islander Prevalent, but no one calls it by the regular names. This one is just your standard taxi or regular looking car, and it's like medium speed, medium health. We can carry a squad in it, right? This is a good solid vehicle that is clearly the baseline for how the cars currently operate in Fortnite. That's why it's kind of in the middle of this list. It's not very good, but it's not really bad, right? It's definitely just a good solid foundation. Now with that being said though, it's pretty fun to hop into this as a 4-man squad and just bump the tunes as you make your way to the next squad wipe. This will be nostalgic in 2 years, so enjoy driving it now. Remember me saying this. Now you know what's nostalgic right now though. Number 7, guys, you're gonna love this one, the ATK. Oh my goodness, this thing was so much fun. Who remembers waking up to the new season when the ATK came out and launching and like getting the new battle pass and literally playing the entire day? Ah, them's were the days, boys. Season 5 seemed like one of the best seasons in Fortnite in so many players' opinions because it was just straight up fun. By the way, let me know your favorite season down below if you didn't leave a comment yet, and remember to hit like. But Season 5 with the rifts and the new areas on the map, the ATK really tied it in and made Season 5 one of the most memorable ones ever. I almost wish, though, that they would bring back the ATK, like in certain parts of the map or something. I don't know. Am I the only one? Let me know down in the comments. Hit the like button if you agree. Instead of having a billion cars, we should have less cars and just a few ATKs lying around. I don't know. Just my opinion. Let's talk about number 6, though. The truck. Now, where's my truck gang at? Every time I loot up, I see a truck. I just have the sudden urge to get in it, turn to the closest radio station, playing some country music, and I just sit in the middle of the town, just doing some donuts, you know, for old time's sake. I got in trouble the last time I did that in real life, though, so make sure you guys keep it just in the game. But seriously, you guys are probably thinking there isn't a huge difference between the truck and the other cars, but no, there is a huge difference, and that's that you can drive it really well off-road, right? But the cars are like basically incapable of doing that. Also, it's a truck. You know you want to drive it. All right, you know what else everyone wanted to drive when it came out, though? Number 5, the chopper. I bet you're surprised it even made it this far in the list, but let's talk about this for a minute. Oh, and like always, guys, number 1, it's going to shock you, so stick around for that. But there's a reason Choppa made it to one of the highest spots in this list, and that's because it's one of the most fun and balanced vehicles in the game. And contrary to popular belief, it does actually have a fair bit of counterplay, or at least more than it used to. You no longer have to fear for your life every single time you hear a helicopter because they are so much more fragile than they used to be. And players have gotten pretty good at fighting people that just fly around in Choppas the whole game. Really though, there's a reason the Choppas are still in the game, and it's probably because they are more fun than they're detrimental to the game. Even though I know some of you watching right now hate the Choppa with all of your heart, I hear you. It's okay. Just deal with it, okay? Just deal with it. Now moving on to number 4, we have another huge nostalgic one for you guys. It is the Quad Crasher. Yes, the Quad Crasher made its way into the top 5 because, oh my goodness, you guys, this thing was fun. I don't think there were ever any major complaints about the Quad Crasher except for the few times that pros were getting like smacked into the air like 500 feet to their doom, but those times were more funny to everyone else, so we all enjoyed it, even if the streamers got a little mad about it, whatever. But anyways, the Quad Crashers will always have a special place in our hearts, even if they don't have a place in the game anymore. Now, by this point, I bet you're wondering, Denver, what could possibly be in the top 3? He's named every vehicle in the entire world. I know. We're pretty thorough and we do some good research. You can thank Todd, your first favorite PE teacher, for that one. But our top 3 are backed up by science and are proven to be the all-time most fun, best vehicles ever added to Fortnite. Number 2 will shock you, but then number 1 will leave you paralyzed. So make sure you're sitting down for this one, kids. But let's talk about number 3. Whiplash, or as most call it, oh yeah, the Ferrari. Now, the Ferrari is the fastest land vehicle ever introduced in the game, right? Maybe. And what I mean by that, of course, is the fastest car-like land vehicle in the game by a long shot. So many players are happy that Epic added a vehicle like this because, yes, cars are fun, but it's even more fun with the way this one sounds and the stance it has, and like the wide tires that look sleek, you know, and the different colors. Oh man, I could just keep going, but I'm not going to because you want to hear number 2, which is... Ooh, get ready for this one, guys. The plane. Now, hold on. Wow. Hold your horses. Drop your pitchforks, okay? This is backed by science, so don't argue with me. Now, here's the deal. The planes were kind of like the brutes in a sense, right? Where you love being the one inside of it, but you hated being attacked by it. But realistically, the planes were some of the most popular vehicles ever added to the game. Players wouldn't even loot up. They would just hop into these bad boys, fly them all around the game, partially because they were super broken and strong and easy to get Vic Roy's with, but also they were just straight up fun. No matter which lobby you were in, you were always racing people for a chance to land on a plane. Almost every single game. Like, no one ever did that with the brutes. Okay, maybe a little bit with the brutes, but not the cars or the helicopters. It was just kind of something you took if it was there, right? But not the planes. No, players actually sought them out and landed accordingly because they were just that awesome. Now, I'm not saying they didn't add any faults or downsides to the game, but you got to admit, they were really fun. Now, we always save the best for last, guys, so make sure you're sitting down. I bet some of you have been keeping track. You already know that number one has to be the baller. Gumbo, can you put some cricket noises in here? What's that? You guys are not happy about the baller being number one? Well, you know what? File a complaint with Ton. All right, let's talk about why this is the actual best vehicle ever added to Fortnite. Now, was the baller most likely just a ripoff of that Jurassic Park movie? Yes. Was the baller horrible to play against in competitive modes? Also, yes. Was the baller, though, one of the most complained about vehicles in Fortnite? Not really. Aha. Now, here is where so many people forget just how much people like the ballers. These things were fun, and I mean really, really fun. The community had a lot of mixed feelings about the ballers, but mostly for the casual player, this thing was more fun than it was annoying. It's not like it had any mechanic to like do damage and stuff, really. It could break some builds, but the players had to get out of the ball if they wanted to be aggressive, and there was like a delay on that. So really, the vehicle is pretty balanced, especially after the health nerf. And in the end, this was hands down the best vehicle ever added to Fortnite. So if you think this list is entirely wrong, I'm sure you already let us know in the comments below. If you think it was right, defend us, okay? Tell all those snooty kids down there in the comments. You tell them, hey, Den Top 10 nailed it. They got it right. Either way, code that Denver Guy YT. Send me proof on Twitter or Instagram. Make sure it's that Denver Guy YT and not that Denver Guy, okay? Someone took it. I let him keep it. For now, we're just using that Denver Guy YT. Type it in. Send me proof. You can win 2,000 V-Bucks. I'm picking 5 of you guys for Season 4. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Love, Denver. Peace.